I want to get, again, your overall takeaways from what you saw on the field. I know it's tough because South Carolina dealing with injuries and opt-outs and COVID, and you lose your head coach midseason. I think through all of that, there were bright spots to take away, even throughout a 2-8 season. You saw some things. I know, obviously, you look at the quarterback position with, I think Colin Hill did nice things. I think that, obviously quarterback is the position you blame first. And I heard a lot of your comments in midseason about the way people were talking about Colin, especially after the LSU game and just what the limited resources he had to work with. You saw it with the wide receiver position and all that. But Kevin Harris, I mean, what a phenomenal season. Luke Doty, I think, showed you some really nice flashes. And, heck, when you had a healthy defense somewhat, they played their tails off at times. But the overall 2020 season, your takeaways, if any, was there anything you can take away as far as what Shane Beamer and this new coaching staff can build on going into next year?
Oh, no. What happened?
Hold on, let's see here.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
All right, no, you're good. You're good.
No, man, I think that we had promise early, and then after the LSU loss, the sails were taken out, and then obviously when they split ways with Coach Muschamp is when the wheels came off the wagon, and players just decided to, do their own thing. And I feel like I've talked in circles about it, and it's a shame that they couldn't ride out the rest of the season with their teammates, but it's a business and they got to do what they got to do. And I think that with Coach Beamer coming in, just looking at that Gamecock football tweet of how emotional he was talking about the Easter egg hunts Coach Spurrier and his staff used to have out on Williams-Brice, I think that there will be a little bit of a different culture. Obviously, we wish Coach Muschamp the best and all those guys. It's a bittersweet day, because you're excited about the new coach, but I remember watching those guys in 2015 pack their bags, like literally in cardboard boxes, getting stuff out of their office. And it was the first time I'd really realized like how much of a business this is. And their job was dependent upon your play. And I feel like that next year, I'm not saying I took it more seriously. It was just more real. So it's a bittersweet day because we're excited about the future, but also, people are losing their jobs and having to restart. And it's an interesting, tough day. But 2020 season, not very impressive. 2-8, probably one of the worst seasons that we've ever had here. But injuries and COVID, and we could blame it on everything. I just don't think the guys were really bought in to what was happening. Unfortunately, I think Colin Hill, again, did some good things, but a pocket passer needs talent around him. And he had one running back that ran the ball well, obviously all year, was a stud. Besides that, he didn't have any help. He really didn't. And it's a shame. And hopefully we'll be able to recruit the receiver position better now, because for some reason that has been just non-existent since Brian Edward. Shy Smith was a stud, obviously, and is a stud, but you can't have your number one primary target be a slot guy. It's right. It's you're going to put yourself in a bind. And then defensively, we had a couple good flashes. J.C. Horn had the big game versus Auburn, but again, I think that, both of those corners played as individuals, and they're going to make a lot of money, and congrats to them. And we're happy for them and glad they're Gamecocks. So moving forward, excited as crap about Coach Beamer. I didn't play for him. He didn't recruit me. He was already gone. But, I've heard incredible things. Every single former player, Garcia, Marcus, Connor, Dylan, all these guys that I've asked and talked to about, they were like, we got to bring this guy back. One, because he was a part of the culture that was established of winning and holding South Carolina football to a higher standard. But then the next thing was he loves Columbia. He loves South Carolina. Columbia is a lot in the sense of the town is a lot like Blacksburg in Virginia Tech, right? Smaller town, college town, but the people are bought in and they're good, just wholesome folks. And there's a lot of similarities there. And he wants to be here. People will say, well, of course he wants to be here. They're going to pay him millions of dollars to coach football, but he wants to be a Gamecock. This was his, quote, dream job. There's a difference between wanting to be a Division I football coach, head coach, and there's a difference between wanting to be a Gamecock. And like Luke Doty, you want guys like that want to be a Gamecock. The other guys, they can go. We've seen enough of them. And I'm happy for them, and I'm glad they're making money, and I wish I was making millions playing the NFL as well. But there's something to be said, and the teams are better when people are bought in and want to be a part of your program. You can take less and do more when people are bought in. And just talking about AC Flora, mm-hmm. These guys, these high school kids, man, they're bought into being Falcons, and they played that way. They practiced that way. They played together as a team week in and week out. And man, we didn't have a team that even sniffed competing with us the entire season. It was something like I had never seen before. Our closest game was 41-21.
Wow.
And it was because people wanted to be there. And so I'm excited for South Carolina because I feel like now you're going to have some of that mojo back. And I would expect a good turnaround and some big time momentum here in the next couple weeks.